My biological mother couldn't take care of me because she was doing drugs.
I was basically the parent because my parents were never home.
I came into care because my birth father sexually abused me.
If he found out that I wasn't dressing like how he wanted, I would be told that I'm a slut.
I was physically and verbally abused.
When I got realizing that my family kept calling me racist boy, I understood that I was racist.
When I was younger, my parents did a lot of drugs and they were never home, so I was forced to have to take on the parent role, and I was forced to have to watch my brothers constantly, make sure they were fed, make sure they were always where they needed to be, and I was basically the parent. And by that point, I figured that I was basically the parent because my parents were never home.
When I was living with my dad before I got sent to the system, I had to sneak like whatever I wanted to do, and I had to dress like a boy pretty much, and in order to be like my peers at school, I would have to hide my clothes outside in the bush.
Back home, I wasn't able to go to school a lot because my birth father didn't want to pay for a daycare system for my brothers, so I had to stay home and watch them.
We were put into foster care after an incident where my mom's boyfriend kicked a hole through our front door because he was really mad, and she called the police and they found us, walked away.
Youth Speak Out is an organization where we as youth come together and we share our stories to each other, and we go out and help, talk to parents and teens about what we've gone through to try and kind of help them in a way too.
I joined Youth Speak Out so I could kind of teach parents to be more culturally sensitive, and to teach kids that to teach adoptive kids that the parents they have chose them and that they love you and it doesn't matter what anybody else says.
I hope what people take away from this PSA project is that instead of just slapping a stereotype on a child, try to understand why they're acting the way they are and why they're like the way that they are. And I'm hoping that they understand that we are so much more than they tell us we are.
I think it's healing to tell your story because it helps get a burden off of your chest, kind of, because you're able to express what you've gone through, and you're able to talk about, like your life and relate to others and what they've gone through. And it's just good to listen, and you learn more about yourself as a whole too.
I also wanted to join Youth Speak Out to teach children that it's okay if their parents are different, like if they're white, black, gay, or straight, because they chose you and they love you and they will continue to love you forever.
For our PSA, we decided that we'd do a sign that says I am, and then we'd have the label on the back that says what people think of us in foster care.
We really just want to reach out to the youth and let them know that we understand what it feels like to be put into a specific group, even though we don't belong there.
And then we'd flip the label over again and it would say I am, and then we'd flip it back over and it would say actually what we think we are, the good parts of what we are, not just the negative parts that people just think from just reading our files.
We want them to know that just because people call them different names doesn't mean that's what they are.
We thought this would be a good idea, just to show people that we are not these labels, and we are more than destructive teenagers that don't care about anyone else. When I came into the foster care system, I got the label of slow.
I was clinically diagnosed with depression.
My negative label is worthless.
I was forced to have to take on the parent role.
Being a manipulator allowed me to survive.
I don't really fit in, I'm different. The negative word I chose was an Oreo.
My negative label is controlling.
I have been labeled as depressed.
You don't have to define foster kids by the labels that they get put on them as soon as they enter the foster care system.
And when I came into foster care, they labeled me as worthless before the day I left my home. And they said, "You're worthless," and I just took it in as I was worthless.
When I was put into foster care, that label really stuck to me.
We want to let people know that these are not the labels that you have to define these foster kids by. There's more to them than these labels.
We want adults to understand that the stereotypes that they give us are completely wrong and we are misunderstood.
I'm just courageous because I know that there's a good plan out there that God has for me.
Since I was taken out of my biological home, I had to overcome a lot of obstacles.
And they didn't realize that I had some intelligent things I could do.
Now I'm enrolled in AP classes and honor classes, and I am excelling at school.
I want people to see me as a talented writer.
I mow lawns, I just got a job at Sonic. I do wrestling every single day of the week.
My negative label was worthless, and my positive label is smart.
The positive word that I chose for myself is intelligent.
Overcomer.
Courageous.
The positive word I chose was hardworking.
For more information on MFCAA's Youth Speak Out program, visit mfcaa.org or call 816-350-0215.